and let us all do we can to build a better future. The bait is being dangled before us because it's the midterm election cycle.
Kids, you want to get some candy and vote for the Democratic Party?
No. This is how it is. Hey, Jack, I got some candy for you. Just come into the secret booth with me and vote blue. Mm-hmm. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, well, they already left like a few crumbs, right? Yeah. So they did the $10,000 for certain folks, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. And now they're talking about doing more, right? Mm-hmm. Like I kind of see it as like, okay, so now we've convinced them that we're willing to do it.
Yeah.
So people will be more willing to take the bait for this student debt relief.
So
I love it's all bet, and they're like, I don't get it. Why aren't they biting anymore?
Now we got a couple of segments here from Case Study QB. Was corporate media reacting to this news of this idea that the Biden-Harris presidential administration are going to, pardon student debt. So again, shout out to Case Study QB, but also I want to acknowledge too, he is being unfairly blocked and smeared on Twitter because Twitter is saying that his stuff is
the stuff that Case Study puts up is literally clips from mainstream media. He's not
it's
controversial,
sensitive information
and
so
controversial.
I can't look at it.
Yeah, well, he's saying that cases. Remember, when it's on these other channels, it's perfectly legible. When it's not on an accredited account and it's treated the same as everyone, it's amazing. As I point out to Case every time we talk to him, is like, isn't it funny that you're proving how bad the coverage is because you're not an accredited channel? And so when you post the same stuff that they do and there's no filters protecting it, all of a sudden it's not reliable material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, let's move on. So let's actually play this first video segment. It's from our good friends at Fox and Friends. Let's play it.
Our very good friends.
The midterms. The White House is now planning further moves on student loans. President Biden reportedly told lawmakers he's open to forgiving more than the originally pledged $10,000 that we heard about.
This is exactly what the far-left socialists want. And today, some of them, including Bernie Sanders, plan to welcome White House staff with a brass band as a thank you.
Let's bring in Fox and Friends Enterprise reporter.
It's this guy again.
Hey, Lawrence Jones again. I think that's his name.
I mean, we'll get to the education aspect of this.
He's saying all the right things.
Everyone keeps asking, when is the White House going to pivot to being more moderate? They're just telling you that they're not. I mean, when Bernie Sanders is celebrating you, you have the squad celebrating you. They're all in on the progressive agenda.
Can we pause here?
And it's crazy because...
Let's pause, Kira.
I got to watch Fox and Friends more, man. This is like comedic. Like, it's a comedy gold.
They think Biden's communist. The Biden being a far left communist socialist? When? Fox, I know you don't believe that. I know none of you do.
Well, to be fair, they didn't say communist. They just said the far left socialist.
Yeah, true.
You know.
But sometimes you get people like Barney Frank who will say, he's listening to the socialists. Why is Biden acting communist? He's letting the communists tell him what to do. Barney, he's not letting it happen, buddy. You're just saying that for your old senile viewers at the old folks' home, just to make them feel good about the 1950s, okay?
Here's a real question for everyone. If we turned off all TVs in retirement homes, of people that restaurant owners, public places that have TVs, what percentage of Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC viewership would just be erased from history? I'm going to say 50%.
Yeah. There you go. Let's play the rest of the video because it gets hilarious.
Airports. Did you mention airports?
Oh, I should have. That's another 10% right there.
There you go.
When you look at every single polling data, whether it's from young people, black voters, Hispanic voters, the most dependent blocks of the Democratic Party, they're turning away from the Biden administration. So I guess they think that going more progressive is going to make people on their side.
Right.
I just don't think Americans are buying. When you look at the gas tank, when you look at inflation, you look at crime, you look at the border, things that matter to average day citizens, just buying off the young people is not going to get you an election win in the midterm.
Pause right there. I just got to say, I feel like he's gone off script and he doesn't really know what to say. He's not speaking as eloquently as the last time we saw him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel kind of the same way. And I think that part of his point might be true, but he doesn't mean it in the way that my brain sort of digested what he said, where he's like, buying off these young people isn't going to work in getting elected. And there is a part of me that's like, well, young people are less likely to vote. So I guess in some ways, like if they're doing this as like but I know they just looked at polls. They just looked at polls and they said, oh, what do Democrats care most about right now? Let's go in that direction.
You know how you get young people to vote? It's really easy in that respect. You do a pre-forgiveness of debt, and then you say this process will take until a week after the new president takes in office, and the bill can only be undone by a new president that's not me. There's your motivation, folks.
There you go.
Look, I just thought of that.
There you go. Let's play the rest of it.
I hope these Democratic strategists are taking notes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they are. They're playing Tetris.
Sorry. How are we going to pay for this?
We're not going to be able to pay for this. And
that was totally
it's sad
scripted,
because
wasn't it?
Yeah.
On the merits of fairness, it's not
fair
fair for the people that decided they were going to sacrifice from their families. I remember when President Barack Obama first became president, he paid it off like 2 months before he became the president of the United States. So it's hitting all different people because of all these universities. When the feds decided to take over these loans, they started jacking up the rates of college. So it's not fair. But there's a lot of people, and I've been honest about it, that are saying, you know what? I just started making a little money. I'm 29 years. I'm going to put it aside just to see what they're going to do. I'm against it on the merits, but I see what the Democrats are doing. I just don't think it's going to be enough for them.
Sorry.
I think that he might have a point on it not being enough, I guess is my point.
Yeah, everyone's already, you have to do more than just that. I mean, it would be a bit, but you have to do more. Like, no, here's the problem that Biden has, that he's earned. No one would believe him if he said it, and it's earned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's play this next video here.
Of student loan forgiveness. And this was something that Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, they had called for student loan debt to be wiped out completely. Joe Biden, as a candidate, seemed to be very hesitant to latch onto that idea. Now we're getting some insight today that maybe that's something the administration is considering. Why now? Is this the Democrats saying, like, we need an issue here, we need something to excite people, or is this something that maybe he came to this decision honestly?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's twofold. I don't think that they're mutually exclusive. Obviously, the numbers among young people and progressives are slipping. This is a great way to positively impact the lives of those young people and progressives. Otherwise, it's a great economic issue. Imagine how much that'll help the economy to free up 43 million borrowers who are saddled with this debt to participate in the economy, to spend money in businesses and restaurants and travel and a whole slew of things. These are people who can't participate right now. So even if you're one of those people who can't get past, the personal responsibility argument of, you took on this debt, now you have to pay it. Even if you're one of those people who can't get, away from that, at least think about how all of us, participate in this economy together. And the more prosperous this economy becomes, we all benefit. We all derive the benefits from it.
Well, there are a lot of people who look at this and say, I paid my student loans, why shouldn't others? And that's a debate that certainly will continue to play out. We're going to see how that works and how this works with the administration.
Other people got the vaccine. Why not you?
Okay,
it's a stupid argument.
I want to add in something here. Look, I went to college at Northeastern Illinois University right after I got out of the United States Marine Corps. I used my GI Bill, my Illinois State Veterans Grant, to pay for my college, my 5 years. I walked out with zero student debt, and for that, I'm eternally grateful for that. I'm glad that those two programs were there. However, there are many of my colleagues who graduated from Northeastern Illinois University in 2013. A lot of them were saddled with student debt. Some $25K, $50K. Other people I knew went to different colleges that have $100K in student debt. They shouldn't have that. That's not right. Because how are they going to contribute to their dream? I remember talking to some of them saying, oh, I don't know if I can continue on with my education further because I got so much to pay. So that means how many brilliant minds are right now putting their careers or their ability to really contribute to our society on hold because of, again, this ridiculous system that only is exclusive here in the United States. Student debt is a form of debt that will follow you even after you die. So whoever co-signed on that damn loan inherits that debt. Joe Biden in 2005 sided with the credit card corporations to make student debt even a far worse thing here. I am all for student debt forgiveness. There should be a debt jubilee. Because if we could pay for these ridiculous wars, if we could bail out the banks and corporations that keep on screwing us over and buying the land, if these billionaires could keep on, like Bill Gates, buying up all the farmland, if they're able to do all this, we can able to provide for our citizens, okay? It's time for some real equality because we see in other countries, they have affordable college or free college. They're able to extend their education and actually continue to contribute. What is wrong with that? See, the thing is, we have politicians that are heartless. We have politicians that have no imagination. We have politicians that are too old and are telling people that they must suffer. And it's these same politicians that wrote these laws. People like Turtle Boy Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham Cracker, senile Joe Biden. We got, again, crazy old bat, Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi. We got all these jagoff politicians who are so old, who lack so much compassion. They're okay with giving a middle finger to future generations. So what I have to say to Democratic and Republican voters is this. If there's going to be a better future, we have to do a debt jubilee. I want to pull up this next video here. Again, huge shout out to Case Study QB. He's actually in the live stream chat as well. Be sure to follow him on Twitter because Twitter is unfairly censoring him. Let's play this next video.
But is student loan debt forgiveness good politics? They're pointing to a Politico poll and Morning Consult poll that came out this week to say that it is. But some of those people who say that they support this in theory only want it targeted, as you were just noting, towards people of lower income. And 80% of the respondents said that they don't even have student loan debt.
Yes, this is clearly not like a win like for him necessarily. It could be, it could not be, but it shows that they're really grasping at straws here. They're trying to find
Well,
anything.
and the point of that, can you pause that here?
The states
the point that I don't know if she's making, but she could certainly make, is that a large majority of the people who are saying we should, do something about this student debt is not actually going to feel the impact directly in like such a direct way. They might start to feel the impact like their shops get busier or the service industries get busier, that kind of thing. Just because there's more people that are available to the economy. Mm-hmm. So it is a good question. I mean, I think like the dude, Lawrence Jones, on the other side, he's like, I don't think it's going to be enough. And I think a big piece of that is that the young people who are going to feel the impact of it may not be the ones who are going out to the polls to vote.
Yeah, and again, it's like one reason I think a lot of people that are young don't go out to vote is when they do, they're told they can't eat food, their doors are closed on them. The entire apparatus of the government doesn't really teach or incentivize people to do that. It's not a national holiday, so if they're working a part-time job or a job they can't get off as easily, they don't have time to stand in lines. They don't have a car because they're paying their student loans, so they couldn't put down a down payment for a vehicle to go vote. And I think predominantly everyone thinks that their vote doesn't matter because it doesn't. And I think maybe we should even extend that statement. It doesn't matter to their bracket. Because who do you think's paying for all the stuff that we're spending money on and the wars and everything else and oil subsidies? The money's coming from somewhere. It's not coming from the people voting often. It's coming from the people voting the least often. So it's like a triple whammy. We're on top of each other. They're stuck with debt that is on them in the first place because they don't vote, and they're not voting because of the debt and because they think that they can't get out of it and because no one's trying to speak for them. And we saw when Bernie ran in 2016, there was that hope and that resurgence, and there was young people that were active, but only when they had hope.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Let's play the rest of the video.
The highest student loan debt, though, Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, all states with big races. So you never know.
All states with big races.
But is student loan debt forgiven?
Okay, yeah, it's going to be repeating itself. So there we go. So what can we, so let's actually do democracy in the chat here. All right. Let's actually, ask a question to our audience. Type 3 if you think this is lip service from the Biden-Harris administration from Democrats that, they're just saying it just to get people to turn out to vote. Or type 2 if they're really going to follow through with it. Let's actually, or type 4, type 4.
And then with that number 4, please just point to any
reference.
Yeah, historical grounding for that belief, because I'm curious. Yeah, right. I'm just cynical, and I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah.